Hey, you guys.
Hello, everybody.
We're excited to be coming to you live to share 4 tips that you can use stress as a motivator to help you get more traction in your business. Because I don't know about you, okay, but there have been days where I've been stressed out, feeling very stuck, and I was actually, instead of having that pull me down, Tim and I actually learned some really cool things that can actually help you flip that around and have it become your superpower instead of keeping you stuck.
Today was also one of those stressful days. That's how come I'm laughing, because this topic is perfect, and that's how come we wanted to share it with you guys this evening. We've had a bit of a stressful day today. There's been a lot going on. Okay, we've had a lot of things down the pipeline, and it's been a bit of a crazy day. And so we've had to not only remind ourselves of the tips that we're going to share with you tonight, but we thought it would be awesome, to share that, hopefully to help you. And, if you're having those stressful times right now as well.
Yeah, because a lot of people, again, are in a position right now where things are kind of in flux and transition. There's a lot of expectations that you might have put on yourself that are maybe not as reasonable as they could be. And there may just be some things that are really outside of your control that you're feeling stressed about. Okay, so we want to talk about these 4 tips to help you be able to use these type of situations when you find yourself feeling stressed as a motivator to get moving forward, to propel you forward, instead of causing you to flip into overwhelm. Okay,
exactly.
Where nothing really moves, right?
Yep. If you guys are joining us for the first time, my name is Tim Graff.
And I am Becky Graff.
And we help home business entrepreneurs leverage powerful online strategies to create the perfect lifestyle business.
And in business, you guys, it is without a doubt probably one of the more stressful things.
It is.
Okay, you're gonna come against stressful things.
Exactly.
Okay, because not everything goes perfectly all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd love to have an easy button. How many of you'd like to have that easy button that you could just push?
If you guys have one, let me know where it is, because I would love to have that button.
Okay, but here's the thing. Stress typically causes us to become emotionally overloaded, and we typically spiral into overwhelm. Feeling a lot. Feeling like there's all these things that are swirling around us that we can't handle. We don't have time for. Our kids are doing this, all these responsibilities.
And it just builds upon itself, right? One thing spirals out of control and we get focused on that, and then something else happens and it just sends it that much higher. And then something else happens, and it just keeps building and building and building. And finally, you're just ready to explode.
How many of you have ever experienced that? Okay. How many of you ever experienced something going a little bit wrong, and then like 10, 15, 20 minutes, even an hour later, you're like just had it. Okay. And you're like, oh my gosh. When you actually calm down and you think about what it was that actually got this initial stress ball rolling, you're like,
well,
okay,
that was kind of silly to get that upset over something that small. And a lot of times it is.
However, it is important. Tip number 1, you guys, is to really acknowledge the stressful situation. If you're feeling stressed about something, it's because something is out of alignment, okay? And your mind has automatically gone to panic, okay, protective mode, so that it can help you manage whatever the situation is. So the number 1 thing is to acknowledge the situation. Don't hide from it, but name it, label it, face it head on. Because once you have identified what it is, it kind of takes the power out of it. For an example today.
It's like facing it head on, right? We face that issue when we go, okay, this is what's going on. And you recognize it. And like Becky said, you bring it to awareness. Okay, you identify it. It really does. It kind of like knocks the boots right out from underneath it. And then you can go, okay, now what might I do about this? So
for example, for today, you guys, stressful situation that we dealt with. Well, there's actually a couple today.
Yeah, there was a few.
Pick one. Okay. No, but we had a stressful situation with our Kinsley. Okay, she's got school going on, and we are attempting to get into a flow that is a consistent thing that works well for not only her for her learning, but also for ours. And we were having issues with the computer not connecting, and things were loading slow, and she was a little bit, tired and a little bit cranky today, and so it just escalated. Okay. I was doing trainings today. Tim was doing other things today, as well as we were prepping for this really incredible weekend that we're going to be having, where we're coaching and training some other entrepreneurs and business owners. But we allowed the frustration of technology, okay, when it's not loading correctly, it's not coming across correctly, and then added on to that the tiredness and cranky attitude of a cute little 7-year-old, that started to build. Okay. We felt like there was this list of things that we needed to get done. We felt like it all had to be done right now. Okay. And so it started to build.
Can you guys relate to that?
Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
Let me know.
There?
If you are helping homeschool kids at school, at home right now, and you're attempting to build a business at the same time, okay, or maybe you're not, but have you ever had an experience like that where something happens, something kind of minute, but then you start getting emotional about it?
Yep.
Okay, so what we had to do is we had to acknowledge, okay, all right, the computer is not working.
Yep.
This assignment that we need to have her logged into is not working.
Yep.
It is and it is. Okay. Can't change that. Don't have any login information. It's something to do technologically wise that we cannot control. So what might we do to be able to move through this? What other assignments can she work on?
Yep.
Okay. How can
take
we
a step back? Yep.
How can we dissuade her? And to take a step back, absolutely. We all got up.
Yep.
We all walked away from what we were doing, okay, and took a little bit of a break before we could come back and actually start thinking about what those steps were that we needed to do. So number one is when you're feeling stressed, identify what is the situation?
Yes.
What is going on that is causing you to feel stressed? Is it a time crunch? You've got a 20-minute training that you need to get done and you've only got now 10 minutes because something happened. Okay, what was that? Don't hide from the stressful situation. Name and label it. Identify what that was.
It allows your mind to shift into that information load instead of being in that emotional place.
The panic,
stress. Okay, the overwhelm. It allows our brain to shift into information. It allows us to really shift gears in our head to take control of the situation instead of allowing that situation to control us.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you guys, what happens when you feel stressed out? Okay, this is number two. How do you start talking to yourself internally? Okay, what are some of the things that you're saying? Are you saying this thing is stupid? I just can't figure this out. This is just not working, right? This is not my strong suit. All of these things, okay? Tim's laughing because...
Yeah, she gave me that look if you didn't notice it.
Okay, but honestly, when we start getting stressed out...
I fall guilty of this one.
Okay.
More often than I admit.
We start kind of giving ourselves that major negative self-talk, okay? So number two is to take a look at how you're speaking to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? Think about it. What are you saying? And actually, one of the best exercises you can do is to start journaling and writing down, texting it to yourself or to somebody else. Okay. And then evaluate it during times
you need to externalize.
Yes.
And like I said, this is something that I have to keep reminding myself and I have to work on. When you bottle it up inside, when you're sitting there going, man, this just sucks. This is not working. It kind of that kick the cat idea, right? It just doesn't, you're not moving forward, you're actually stuck. So you need to externalize. You need to actually get it out, whether that's texting it to somebody, externalizing it. Okay. Text it to yourself. That works too. Write it in a journal. Just get it external because it's kind of like step one in a way. It's acknowledging it. It's making you're aware of it and you're actually confronting it head on and you can go, okay, I have control of this. You're mine, so to speak.
Well, and here's the thing that's very interesting is when you're in that state of overwhelm or you're stressed and you're having these thoughts, you don't necessarily recognize per se what it is you're saying. It's just you venting frustration.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of that roommate in our head just talking in the background.
But here's the danger in just letting that go unchecked. If you don't start to notice, or start externalizing what you're saying, you're not aware of what belief systems you are reinforcing in your own mind.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you're constantly telling me that was stupid, I can't believe I did that, I'm an idiot.
Yep.
Okay. You're constantly berating yourself. That negative self-talk is not serving you. It allows you, by jotting it down, journaling, texting it to somebody, it allows you to take a look at what you're saying to yourself and reframe that instead of I'm stupid, I can't do this, right? I'm learning how to do this better. Or I'm one step closer to figuring this problem out. Okay. It allows you to take it and reframe it in your own mind. So instead of telling yourself you're dumb, you're stupid, and you're inadequate, you're never going to get this, right? This is never going to work for me. You can flip the script on that. You can evaluate, okay, is this really true? Am I really stupid? Can I really not figure this out? Or maybe I just need to figure out a more effective way to do said task. Okay. And this, you guys, can come across in a lot of ways as you're building your business. Facebook Lives, the statement all the time, the nerves, the stress of going live in front of your audience can be, I'm just no good at speaking, or I don't like the way that I look on camera. I look silly because...
We hear this often.
Okay. So how might you check yourself and identify, are you really that way? And if somebody else was doing the same thing, would you judge them as harshly? Okay, this is number two, is very important to take a look at how you are speaking to yourself. Okay, Write it down.
Yep.
Whatever's convenient to do, scribble pad, text message, again, notes section in your phone, but start noticing.
Yeah.
How are you actually speaking to yourself? How are you viewing the situation? Okay.
Number 3, you guys. And this one is an important one, okay? Because a lot of times we find ourselves constantly cramming so much into our day. We have so much going on. You have a busy day. You got lots of calls. You got lots of kids getting homework done, whatever that might be. And you find yourself in that place of overwhelm where it feels like everything is just ready to explode.
How many are there?
We don't work effectively when we have so much on our plate. Okay, we heard a rule of thumb here a little while ago. It says sit down at your desk, do 20 minutes of work, and then stand up and go for a walk. Step outside, take a walk around the house, okay, walk out to the mailbox, come back, work for another 20 minutes, and stand up, take a break. The idea of number 3, you guys, is you need to insert moments of calm into your day.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like for you, whatever you find helps you recharge. Okay. If you're a external person, if you're
extrovert.
Yeah, an extrovert. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Call somebody, have a conversation. If that helps you just shift your mind out of whatever that workload is, call a friend and shoot the crap, so to speak. Okay. Whatever helps you kind of recharge, take a moment away from what it is you're doing. If you're an introvert, it may be, stepping outside, walking to the mailbox, take a moment to sit in calm and meditate, or step into a quiet room and just take a few deep breaths. Whatever helps you put that calm in there for a minute, takes you out of the situation. You come back with a fresh mind, a fresh perspective, and you're ready to work. And a lot of times that work that you get done, you'll find you get a lot more done, and it's a lot more effective work when you're in those moments.
Yes, and it is very true. Your brain, when you're working on a specific task, okay, regardless of what that is, when you take that time away, when you take that break, it actually allows your mind to relax, and it does a lot of like sifting, sorting, processing. I cannot tell you how many times I'll be working on something, a presentation, or training. Okay, I've got my outline, kind of the general topic of what I'm thinking that I want to work on, and then I go put the kids to bed, or go hop in the shower, okay? And I take a little bit of time away, and it's like this floodgate of ideas just keeps flooding. Yeah. Tim laughs all the time because I'll come running out of the bathroom, I grab my phone, and I'm texting something down. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
what are you doing?
Just a second, right? Because I gave myself that time and space that my mind needed to be able to become creative, less stressed, okay? But again, going into the task with intention, but then intentionally taking time away for you to have some time and space, so that then you can be more effective when you step back.
Yep.
For some, again, like Tim's talking about, going to the mailbox or back. For some of you who don't have access to outdoors right now, is there a place in the house that you can go that you can kind of set the expectations with your family that I'm going to go here, okay, and I'm going to go here by myself for a little bit, okay, to have that time, because it is very important to have those moments of complete silence and complete inaction. It's not taking a step back and doing more work on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. It's taking a time to think, center yourself, have some deep breathing to really calm yourself so that then you can go back to work more effective, and or maybe not even necessarily back to work, but be able to evaluate if what you're doing is actually effective based on the result that you're attempting to get.
Yep. And that actually leads us into number 4. Okay, and tip number 4 is to evaluate. Okay, evaluate the perceived stress. Okay, what is going on in my day? Because a lot of times when we're feeling stress, it is an indication that something isn't working. Okay, something's not going the way that you had planned it to go. And so when you sit back, and we've talked about evaluation quite a bit on our lives, okay, and you may find it's a theme kind of throughout everything that we do. And this is something that Becky and I find is extremely helpful in everything that we do, is we evaluate, okay? And we've shared this before. It's that evaluation of what's working, what's not working, what's working.
No, what's working?
I had it correct the first time. Sorry. See, what's working?
Let's
what's not?
this.
Let's evaluate this. What's working? What's not working? And what might I do differently? Okay, that's that evaluation. And when you sit down and you actually walk through that evaluative process, it really helps you kind of organize things in your own head, as well as it takes that level of stress down.
Yes, because here's the thing. what we focus on is what we have on the forefront of our mind is typically what we gravitate towards.
Yep.
Okay. I remember when we were teaching Kinsley how to ride her bike. Okay. She's got the pedals down, she's going, and now she's looking off to the side a little bit. And where does she go?
Off to the side.
She's going where she's focused on.
Exactly.
Okay. So the same thing about evaluating your perceived stress. Okay. We say perceived because the question is the situation as stressful as you're really perceiving it to be?
Yep.
This is where evaluation comes down. You can actually get very specific. Is the stress of the computer not working for Kinsley's homework today really grounds for the stress that we both felt?
Yep.
The answer is no, it wasn't. Okay. But we had other things that were adding onto the stress that we allowed to kind of take priority.
Yep.
So number 4, about getting specific about what specifically is this that is causing my stress.
Yep.
Okay. Is it, if you keep it general, I'm just stressed, I'm just feeling stressed, you're focusing on the stress. And so guess what's going to happen, you guys?
You're going to get more stressed.
Blood pressure is going to continue to rise, and you're going to continue to feel stressed, and you're not going to be performing as effectively in your business as you would like to.
Yep.
However, if you identify and evaluate, okay, what is it specifically that I'm feeling stressed about? And you start doing an inventory about, I'm feeling stressed that the computer wasn't working. I'm feeling a little bit stressed that I, have a presentation that I've got to do. I'm feeling a little bit stressed that I have, done my time blocking, and now I don't have enough time blocks for all the tasks I need to do because maybe it wasn't reasonable to start with. Okay. You're able to more effectively redirect and pivot to a situation and a process. Okay. Being able to take action steps that are going to move you forward instead of keeping you stuck. And this is what we want to talk about.
Yes.
Okay. Stress can actually be your superpower because once you learn to identify what it is that's causing you stress, you can actually flip the script and reframe it so that it's actually a motivator for you instead of demotivating. Okay.
And a lot of times when we're in those stressful situations, these are times when our minds can grow the most, when we actually can learn the most, when we actually gain the most, is because we're faced something that is, it's a perceived stress, right? It's something that's not working, and we find ways to overcome it. But the idea here is using these 4 tips that we just gave you to flip that, shift gears, so to speak, and flip the script in your mind so that you're not focused so much on this just sucks, this isn't working, this is just stressful, so that it builds upon itself. But it's actually turning into a positive learning experience where you're identifying it, okay, and you're facing it head on, you're evaluating the situation, and so you're actually turning it into a positive. It turns it into a superpower, a situation where you can learn, you can grow, and move forward from it.
Because you're actually reframing it.
Exactly.
So it's a motivating factor so that you can actually stay more focused.
Yep.
Okay. And if you're more focused and you're taking action, you get a lot more done. You make bigger strides, you have more traction in your business. Okay.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Stress is unavoidable. It's one of those things that we have every single day, whether it's environmental stress or personal stress, business stress, whatever that is. So using these tips, again, number 1 is to acknowledge what the situation is.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2 is take a look at how you're speaking to yourself in that situation to notice, are you actually, in fact, building yourself up and giving yourself that space to grow and to develop? Or are you kind of hamstringing
yourself down?
Yeah. And so that you're just, breaking yourself down so you're not going to be able to take that action.
Yep.
Number 3 is to
insert moments of calm into your day. Okay. Whatever that looks like for you, take a moment, get some work done, but then take that moment to step away from what it is you're doing, that situation that you're in. Take a deep breath, walk outside, call a friend, get your mind shifted off whatever it is you're doing. And then number 4 is to evaluate the perceived stress.
The specific perceived stress.
And be specific. Yep.
Yeah. Because again, we can feel like the computer not working is a specific stressor, but really it is the fact that the assignment's not getting done on time because the computer is not logging in the way it needs to. So there's a slight difference there, yet it makes a very huge difference on how you view the situation moving forward.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, you guys, we appreciate you so much being on. Appreciate the hearts and the loves that are coming through. Appreciate you guys spending some time with us this evening.
You guys make sure you are being curious, being bold, taking action, and remember that it is choice, not chance, that shapes your life.
Okay, and you guys make sure you join us here tomorrow. We're going to be talking about 4 perspectives that might actually be limiting your success and the necessary shift that you need to make to be able to succeed as an entrepreneur.
Yes. So make sure you join us here tomorrow, right around 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Have a good one, you guys.
We go live as close to 5 o'clock as possible, depending on our schedule. So
take care, you.
Join us then. See you later. Bye-bye.